this is what I'm dealing with. Hello, my historical fashion friends, and welcome to another episode of An Adult Playing Dress Up. Today is part 2 of my gold kirtle. It's a late 15th century, early 16th century side lacing kirtle, and this will be the episode featuring all of the construction. Part 1 featured all of the pattern making and cutting out, so if you missed that video, be sure to check that out first, because I think this will be a little bit confusing if you didn't see that part. And if you want to see more historical costuming videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to post a video every single week, so stay tuned because there's a lot of fun things to come. I just made myself this new cap for my Viking slash England early medieval looks, and I'm pretty excited about it. I want to do like a decorative stitch around the trim here, but I did a little bit different because the other one I did, which was based off of the pattern from the Coppergate dig, had a rounded back, and this one has a pointed edge like some of the other examples. I think the one from Dublin is pointed. And a really fun about this piece, I'm not going to do a whole video on it because I already have a video on the other hood and it's kind of the same idea, but let's see if I can get this off. But I lined it with linen, and that makes it kind of reversible. I probably won't wear it on this side much because the reason I lined it with linen is that wool makes me itchy. But it's kind of cool to have like a 2-in-1 here. Yeah. So I'm gonna flip it back to the other side so I don't be itchy while I'm talking to you. I didn't see necessarily that any examples were lined in linen. But linen does tend to degrade pretty fast. But I wonder, I have to do more research on this, but I mean, people now, like, wool makes them itchy, and I wonder if either wool making people itchy is a new development, or they just dealt with it because what are you gonna do? But I was just thinking, like, a lot of things that touch the skin have a linen layer first. I guess maybe you would wear, like, a St. Brigida cap. Or something like a St. Brigida cap under this if you were itchy or just anyway. But yeah, I like to line anything that's going to touch my head in linen because I don't like being itchy. Anyway, back to the main topic, and let's get started putting together this gold kirtle. So, having some struggles with this because this fabric that I used for the front lining is super thin and flimsy and does not hold its shape very well. And then you'll also see that I made a mistake with the back pieces because I thought that the part that was the side was the middle back. And so I made that have the train, and I'm probably gonna have to fix that because, yeah, it's not gonna look right. So I'm just pinning these, and then I'm going to actually pin the side and fronts together so I can just consider these all like one piece. Yeah, so I had to do my top lining in a different fabric because, ow, pinching. I had to do my top. Yeah, so I had to do my top lining in a different fabric because I didn't have enough of any one particular red fabric. So the top is a thicker red linen for sweating purposes, and then the bottom is going to be a cotton bed sheet. And there's two different bed sheets, one's for the back and one's for the front, because there wasn't enough at the thrift store of any one particular kind. He insists on helping. Okay, so I have pinned this and fixed the accidentally too long edge. I just tried to like extend it straight out. It's looking a little dipped now though. I might fix that. But I have to cut this off because I thought this was the middle back, but it's actually this side. So I have to trim that. Okay, so the dress is sewn together. I just have to add sleeves, little short sleeves, and fold over the edges here so that I can add my lacing. I'll have to fold them in like this, basically, sew them together, and also the neckline. And then first I'm going to actually put this on my mannequin and then trim the hems so I can flip it inside out and, oh, I guess I can't because I sewn all the layers together. In that case, I am going to trim the hem, then just turn it under and do like a stitch on just like the very edge of the bottom, because it will take a super long time to do it by hand. And I kind of need to get it done before I go to New Hampshire. And then I'm just going to do all of the top by hand. And at some point I may add a trim to the bottom of this anyway. So yeah. Okay, so now what I'm doing is basically just folding these edges over, and then I'm still feeling like this feels a little bit thin, and so I am probably actually going to add another lining on top of this, which will kind of enclose all these wee beasties and hopefully give like a little more supports. I don't really need support, but I just don't like it when the fabric is too thin. Yeah. I guess I should also keep in mind that I will have my smock under this, so I might not want to be too warm. But yeah, I definitely have to add just like another extra something here just for the lacing, and then I'm probably gonna add something up here anyway for the facing as well. Yeah, and I have to press this middle seam and tack down all of the seams. And I've sewn all of the skirt together and just gonna do this side now. Okay, so I cut out a lining for this, a second lining, just to give it a little more thickness, and I think it feels a lot better now. And then I have just folded it over and pinned it, and I'm just going to do a little whip stitch. And I've pinned it so there's a little overhang of the outside so that you don't see the lining that way. And yeah, let's get to it. Stop it. So now I am going to sew the shoulder seams together, and then I am just going to sew together just a little bit of under the armpit because the rest is going to be laced up. And then I am going to put my sleeve in. Okay, so there's no lacing, and I'm wearing a modern bra. The neckline is like a little wider than I thought it would be. I guess that's fine. I feel like it should have gone, maybe it should go lower? I don't know. I guess not, because that would be, maybe it should go lower. Anyway, it's going to go in at the waist when I have lacings on it. So that'll be fine. And yeah. Going to and it's quite voluminous in the skirt as well. And my husband complimented the pattern matching in the front, so A+ to me. Just kidding, I had it on backwards before, so this is actually the front, and that was the back, so that makes more sense, because now the armpit fits better, and also the fronty bit, and yeah, I think everything lines up better now. Yeah. All right, time for some eyelets and sleeves. It's sleeve time, but some little demon is trying to help. He also bit in half my measuring tape. So yeah, also this is in centimeters. So I can't find any of my other ones, which I have like 10 of, but yeah, time to make some sleeves. Okay, so I used my measurements to kind of sketch out the sleeve, and then I tested it against myself, and it was too long, so I am just folding it up, and then I'm going to trim here and here to even it up, and we're gonna make a sleeve. This is a medieval S sleeve style. All right, so here we have the sleeve. It fits. And now we're going to cut out some pieces. Okay, here's our sleeves. I'm actually gonna sew like the bottom hem first and then flip it over and leave a little space to sew the sides together. And then, no. I'll have to sew the sides together, then sew the bottom together, and then flip it inside out, press it, and then I'm going to work on attaching this part to the actual garment. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, not gonna seam rip this because it's supposed to go the other way. I do need to do that first, and then there. Okay, so I have pinned inside the outer layer of my sleeve. I'm gonna sew it like together, and then when I push this lining back in, I'm gonna fold the lining over, and then I'm gonna stitch the lining in over that. That's my clever idea, hopefully. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna do a back stitch. I know probably it was a running stitch. Might have been a back stitch. I don't know. I hear some people and they're like, a back stitch only, and then it's like, no, also a running stitch. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna try to enclose this safely, and then put in the eyelets, and then fold up the hem, and then we'll have a dress. Yes.
Good production. Once again, I am eating flowers and plants and roots for dinner. I know I won't be able to carry on plants forever, because come late fall, the plants aren't going to be available anymore. I'm already starting to see them dwindle, and fall had just begun. Greens, roots, and flowers. What's for dinner?
Okay, here's the inside of my finished sleeve, and it's just been tacked down with a whip stitch, and whip stitched these little guys down. And now on to the eyelets. Okay, so I have marked this final eyelet and the location for it. So first I am going to use my awl and put it next to the mark where the pin is, and then I'll take my pin out. And I'm just going to push all the way through with my awl to make a little hole. And then I want these eyelets to be a little bigger than this awl is, so I'm actually using like a hair comb to just make the hole a little bit bigger. So there you'll see it's kind of a bit of a larger hole in there. And I'm just going to leave this while I grab my needle. And I'm going to take my thread and just going to thread my needle. And I'm just using a regular weight of thread and doubling it up. I'm just going to tie a knot. And I'm going to go up through all the layers of fabric and then down through this hole. And to start, I'm going to just kind of lock it in place by going through the knot. And then all I'm going to do is go basically around in a circle. And if you need to kind of like clear your hole, you can do that every once in a while. And I'm just going to go through. And then go back in. And just do this all the way around. And this is just a really simple eyelet stitch. Nothing fancy. And there's some more interesting and complicated ones that you can do, but this is great to just get the job done quickly when you really want to get to wearing your outfit. So now I will show you the finished eyelet. Okay, here's our eyelet mostly finished, and then just to finish it off, I just go through a couple of times so that it won't come unraveled when you're pushing your strings through. And then just snip, snip. And we have our eyelets done. Okay, she's on the mannequin. And I think I have to... I trimmed the hem to make it shorter in the front and have a train in the back, and now I am just going to fold it over and hem it with a whip stitch. So I'm about to go film my reveal footage. I just want to mention a little something, which is that I accidentally put the train of this on backwards. So now the front is the back and the back is the front, which doesn't make a huge difference because the pattern piece is basically identical anyway, but it just means I have this seam in the front. And also, for some reason, one of the sides of lacing came out really good, but then the other side, it looks like more spaced out. And I'm not sure why. I think it must be just the lacing pattern that I did in the direction I did it, and I think I need one more eyelet on the other side. But yeah, I'm just gonna go film the reveal and fix it later because I want to show you all how I made this. watching. I really enjoyed making this outfit, and yeah, as you can see, I kind of need to do a little more research on lacings and how to not get my lacings to all fall apart. Although, if you see a lot of medieval portraiture, the lacings have come loose, or are loose, or were put in kind of loose. So, I guess that probably happened a lot, but it like totally came undone on one side. So yeah, I need to kind of figure that out. Cause then I didn't bring my like threading needle, and the strings I used didn't have eyelets already on them. So I couldn't relace it once I got to the location, and I actually had wanted to film at this waterfall, didn't look it up properly, and it was actually like an hour's hike, and it was like 100 degrees that day, so I did not do an hour-long hike in a 15th century Kirtle. But I am just so excited about the next projects that I have coming up, because I really love the look of later 16th century, early 17th century Kirtles, and I am currently working on 2, and I'm just super, super excited to show you all. And I am the most excited for both my historical Sleeping Beauty Aurora and historical Belle cosplays, which I am going to be doing with these different 16th, 17th century Kirtle patterns. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.